Good morning, children. Today we will be doing worksheet number 38. Chapter is carbon and its compounds. The topic will be allotropes of carbon. Allotropes are different forms of the same element having different physical properties but same chemical properties. For example, diamond and graphite are two allotropes of carbon. Now, let's come to the difference between graphite and diamond. The first difference is on the basis of structure. The structure of graphite and diamond are very different. In graphite, hexagonal arrays placed in layers one above the other. So, hexagon, just remember the structure of hexagon. Hexagon is this 6 side. So these kind of arrays are placed in layers one above the other for graphite. For diamond, we have 3-dimensional hard structure. You can see here the figure of graphite and figure of diamond. Clear? Now come to the second basis of difference, that is bonding. What kind of bonding exists in graphite and what kind of bonding exists in diamond? For graphite, each carbon atom is bonded to 3 other carbon atoms. One of these bonds is a double bond. That means one carbon atom is here. Now this carbon atom will be linked to 3 other carbon atoms. So when we are linking it to 3 other carbon atoms, we are writing C here. Now again, how many bonds are being shown here? 1, 2 and 3. So is the valency of carbon satisfied? It is not. So one carbon atom will have a double bond. Now again, how many bonds are here? 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now the valency is satisfied. This is for graphite. When we come to diamond, each carbon atom is bonded to 4 other carbon atoms. Each carbon atom is bonded to 4 other carbon atoms, forming a rigid 3-dimensional structure. So that means 4 other carbon atom means carbon is here. Now 1 bond, 2 bond, 3 bond and 4 bond. So all these 4 bonds, another carbon atom is being attached. Can you see this? So this way bonding in the structure of diamond is just like this. Again this carbon will be attaching to 4 other carbon atoms. So one is this one is this, the other one is this, again one more here, one more here. Now again this carbon atom, all this carbon, again it will be attached by other carbon atoms by bonding. This what bonding is it? That it is bonded to 4 carbon atoms. Each carbon atom is bonded to 4 other carbon atoms. Now next is the appearance. Appearance, graphite is smooth and slippery whereas diamond is hard. बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त डिफरेंस है, एक स्मूथ एंड स्लिपरी है, दूसरा हार्ड है. नाउ कम टू कंडक्टिविटी. ग्रेफाइट इज़ अ गुड कंडक्टर बिकॉज ऑफ फ्री इलेक्ट्रॉन्स एंड डायमंड इज़ अ बैड कंडक्टर. एंड देन कम टू यूजेस. Graphite is used as lubricant and pencil lead, whereas diamond is used in cutting tools and jewelry. Clear? Let's move on. You can see here the structure of diamond, the structure of graphite and the structure of C60, which is Buckminster fullerene. This is also one of the allotrope of carbon. Let's come to the versatile nature of carbon. Why is carbon so versatile in nature? Because it forms a large number of compounds called organic compounds or carbon compounds. So now we have to see why is carbon versatile in nature. So carbon is versatile in nature because of the property of catenation. Now this property catenation is responsible for the versatile nature of carbon. Carbon has the unique ability to form bonds with other atoms of carbon, giving rise to large molecules, and this property is called catenation. Okay? Silicon forms compounds with hydrogen which have chains of up to 7 to 8 atoms, but these compounds are very reactive, and the carbon-carbon bond is very strong and stable. This gives us the large number of compounds with many carbon atoms linked to each other. Now come to the other property of carbon, which is tetravalency. Everyone knows that carbon has 4 valence electron. It has 4 valence electron, and that's why it is called tetravalent. It can bond with 4 carbon atoms. Okay, it can also be bonded to monovalent atoms like oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, sulfur, chlorine, etc. Now, there's one more reason for the formation of strong bonds by carbon, that is its small size. Because of the small size of carbon atom, it enables the nucleus to hold on to the shared pair of electrons. The bond which is formed is due to the shared pair of electrons. So, because of the small size of carbon, it enables the nucleus to hold on to the shared pair of electrons strongly. The bonds formed by elements having larger atoms are much weaker. Okay, so that means the bond formed by carbon, which is a smaller atom, is stronger. Okay, clear? Now let's come to the other part of the worksheet. Here in green you can see diamond can be synthesized by subjecting pure carbon to very high pressure and temperature. If you subject pure carbon to a very high pressure and temperature, diamond can be synthesized. Now, synthetic diamonds are small. Synthetic diamonds are small but otherwise indistinguishable from the natural diamonds. That means you cannot distinguish the synthetic diamond from the natural diamonds. The only difference that you can see, we cannot say it as a difference, but synthetic diamonds are small. Just understand this point. Now there is another allotrope, fullerene, which is also an allotrope of carbon. Fullerene forms another class of carbon allotrope. The first one to be identified was C60, which has carbon atoms arranged in the shape of a football. So how many carbon atoms are here? In fullerene, C60 means 60 carbon atoms. Since this looked like the geodesic dome designed by the US architect Buckminster Fuller, the molecule was named fullerene. How does it look like? It looks like a geodesic dome, and this geodesic dome was designed by the US architect Buckminster Fuller, and so fullerene got its name from the name of the architect Buckminster Fuller. So this molecule was named fullerene. Now come to the practice test. Why carbon shows versatile nature? So what will be the answer? I think all of you must be knowing versatile nature of carbon is because of its property of catenation and tetravalency. So we have two properties by which we can say that carbon is versatile in nature, that is catenation and the other property is what? Tetravalency. Two properties, catenation and tetravalency. It's because of this that carbon has a versatile nature. Now come to the other question. Second number, why do carbon atoms form a large number of compounds? Now carbon forms a large number of compounds because of, again, catenation, tetravalency and the small size of carbon atoms. Three properties. Now first one is catenation. Catenation is what? Self-linking property of carbon is catenation. Carbon forms covalent bond to form longer chains and structures with other carbon atoms. Whereas tetravalency, carbon has valency of 4, so it is capable of bonding with 4 other atoms of carbon. The third property is small size of carbon atoms, which help it fit in comfortably as part of very large molecules. Question 3. What is the minimum number of carbon atoms in fullerenes and what is its shape? So the minimum number of carbon atoms in fullerene will be how much? 60. 60 will be the minimum number, and the shape will be like a football, or you can say that soccer ball. Now the fourth question, a boy sharpens a pencil at both ends and connects them to the poles of a battery. Will the current flow through the circuit? Give reasons. Now what will it be? Since graphite is a conductor of electricity, therefore if both the ends of the pencil has been sharpened, electric current will flow in the circuit. Now I think this question is clear to you, that electric current will flow in the circuit because graphite is a good conductor of electricity. Is it clear to all of you? Thank you so much, children.